I guess I was just 10 years old when I realized I would never have a normal parent-child relationship with my mother. We were at a friend's house and I had went in the room that she was in just to check on her. But when I opened the door, something was different. It felt almost morbid. The smell of chemicals filled my lungs and my mom was hunched over smoking on a pipe. And I remember the look in her eyes was like I just caught her doing something that she wished I never saw. I've saw my mom drunk before. I've saw her high off pills. I've even seen her completing physical intimacy. But in this moment, I knew that this is not the person who was going to be responsible for keeping me safe. And with her, I couldn't thrive. From that day forth, I kind of detached from the idea of family and what that looked like in the normal way. I knew that I would never have a family in the traditional sense, and it stopped being something that I sought after. In the years to come, I would enter and exit at least 5 foster homes. I went to 3 different schools in just the 6th grade. And the moment that stands out to me, the moment where I knew I no longer wanted anything to do with my mom. I was just 12, maybe about to be 13. It was the summer before 8th grade, and one of my guy friends from school saw me walking in the street with my mom, and he said, "Kalia, later on, meet us at the basketball court. We're gonna play some 5-on-5." And I loved basketball then, so I said, "Okay, I'll see you then. I'll check with my mom later." And I remember going upstairs, and the moment we got in the house, my mom started wailing on me. I was in fetal position, begging her to stop, but she just wouldn't. And I said to her, "Mom, why are you treating me like I'm somebody in the street?" Her response was, "I won't raise no fast-ass little girl." Little did she know, I already knew I was into women, and I was the furthest thing from fast. All I cared about was being safe and playing basketball. And now that I think of it, I only liked basketball because it was a way to keep me out of my house, keep me away from what I perceived as dangerous. I knew in that moment that she didn't see me as her daughter, and as long as she was using, she wouldn't be able to. But I also realized in the same breath, she was trying to prevent me from becoming another version of her, not knowing she was only pushing me closer towards that. And don't get it twisted. The day I walked in that room, I swore I would never be like my mom. But as things happened and childhood trauma started to stack, I became the exact thing that I was running from. After my mom beat me that day, I went to my guidance counselor and told her what happened and asked my social worker to allow me to no longer live with my mom. So they took away her rights for just me, and this separated me from the entire family. My brothers and sisters still live with my mom, but I was out on my own. And it really showed me that sometimes we don't get to choose our family, and we can't allow that to keep us in a box. After that day, I went down a dark road. I completely turned off on the inside. I started drinking and popping Molly, slowly becoming exactly who I swore I would never be. But I didn't know any other way. I was taught that if you're going through something, you drink about it. Something's good in your life, you drink about it. Something's hard in your life, you drink about it. And here and there, I would dibble and dabble in pills too. I guess sometimes I just wanted to detach from the things that were hurting me. I didn't understand how somebody who gave me life could be responsible for being the reason I hated mine, for being responsible for the reason I didn't want to live. I loved my mother. I chased the love of my mother until I couldn't anymore. But in doing that, I detached so far that I wasn't able to receive love from other people anymore because I thought I was the problem. I thought I was unlovable. I went down a dark path. I drank, I drugged, I attempted to take my own life. I was unmanageable, I was out of control, and the whole time I was trying to avoid becoming the person I already was. And it took a long time for me to realize that. It honestly took probably a decade of me drinking and me drugging and Me just living life on the edge. I got arrested, I lost jobs, but I didn't care because I thought that everyone in the world owed me something. That God gave me this mother that dropped the ball, so whoever I become is enough. Because most people who went through what I went through wouldn't be anything more than what society pegged me as. A failure, a loser, I'll never amount to nothing. I heard those things so many times I began to believe it until I had enough of myself. And that's when I decided to change. That's when I decided to grow. I realized the only person I was punishing was me. I thought by becoming nothing, I was showing the world. But the truth is, I was only letting myself down.